The thing that I learned that I shouldn't say is that I am no contact with my mom. I'm no contact with both parents, but I know better than to tell people that I don't speak to my mom through experience. So I guess today is going to be no contact and the people close to me. Things that I shouldn't say. So yesterday I was talking about being able to be accepted in my darkness. Not just my light, but also have my darkness accepted in friendships. I don't tell most people that I don't speak to my mom because when I do, I'm met with it's a script almost. It's the same 5 to 10 phrases that people use, even people close to me, when I tell them that I don't talk to my mom. So these are some examples of the shit that I hear. You only get one. She's gonna die one day, and then you're gonna regret not speaking to her. You're supposed to love your mom over everything. Somebody told me it was not good for my spirit to not speak to my mom. Like you obviously don't know that lady. Have you considered the pain that she's been through? People have asked me, have I considered the pain that she's been through? I have experienced and merged and been dumped on and been made responsible and scapegoated because of the pain that she's been through. I am well aware of the pain that she's been through. She would never let me forget about it. They want to tell you about their relationship with their mother as soon as like, oh yeah, I don't like. I've never just been like, hey bitch, I don't talk to my mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so imagine me working up some courage to say this, and somebody be like, oh well, I talk to my mother every day, cause she's gonna die soon. Like, I don't. Okay, cool, cool story. And someone I don't speak to this person anymore audibly gasped when I told her that I don't speak to my mom anymore. So, and like it's just my experience that they get weird. People get fucking weird and passive aggressive. It's almost like they heard me call them a bad mother. Or like I called their mother a bald headed scallywag. Like me not speaking to my mother somehow has some type of impact on their parenting and their mothering. And I'm talking about my mother who pushed me out her cat. And like just when you say the word mother is so emotionally charged that people will lay down on the line and forget who the fuck they talking to. Like this is like I hate to say this, but I'm an evidence collector, bro. If yeah, like I can't if I can't trust you with my shit, bro, I'm not trusting you with my shit. And that's just that. Like if you say some shit like that to me, bro, like no. So I wanna say first before I get into this that I love my mom. To me, love is an action. So I care for my mom. I care about her. When I'm around her, I'm respectful. I recognize her as the person who brought me Earthside. I trust her to be who she is. And like I dead ass attempted so many open and honest conversations with her. So many clarifying conversations with her. And yes, I have considered her pain. She has some deep wounding. And like that's not my story to share. Her wounds is not my story to share. She has some serious shit that has happened in her life, and I feel for her. I pray for my mom. That's why it's weird when motherfuckers be like, "Yeah, you gonna regret your decisions and all that shit." Like, I still pray for my mom's healing. I pray for her to feel whole. I pray for her to heal. I pray for her to let the things that hold her spirit down. I pray for that shit to be alleviated. And people talking about, have you considered her pain? Like, have y'all considered my pain? when someone tells you that they don't speak to their mother, what do you hear? Cause like to me, I just have this expectation of loyalty because I'm such a loyal person. So like I find it insulting when people that I know and love just assume that I don't speak to my mom on some brat shit. I don't speak to my mom on a whim. I don't speak to my mom because I'm a bitter bitch. Like, that shit hurts my heart when I am saying I finally built the courage up to ask for help and tell you about a situation that I'm not comfortable really talking about with people. And then somebody says, well, have you considered her pain? Bro, y'all could get off my phone for real. Like, y'all could get off. Y'all obviously don't know nothing about me. And like, I guess this is the running theme about this. Like, people don't know nothing about me. Like, a person like me would not just not talk to their mother for no reason. Like, this shit cost me. This shit cost me years and years of healing, years of tears and pain and hurt and coming back and coming back and attempts to make it better and still getting like every time I go back it get worse. The next transgression gets worse. Like I'm not this is not to explain to people who understand. This is to give you insight into my mind when you say dumb shit like you only get one mother. I only had one sister and she passed away. I only had one of my favorite uncles and he passed away. And they left me abruptly. She has hung death and the punishment of death over my head for since I was a child. So before you share your weird shit with people, consider that they have thought about the shit that you fucking talk about. Have you considered having a talk to her? Yes. Yes. Yes, I have. That shit is crazy to me. So yeah, I guess I would just ask somebody really who had those first visceral ass reactions. It's like, why would anyone stop talking to their mom? What type of shit would a mother have to do to someone to have them cut off? Just think about that. Like the person who birthed me, like the person who pushed me out, her cat, who brought me earthside. What would they have to do for me not to want to be in relationship with them anymore? And that's it. That's all I gotta say on that. But like, I understand that I don't tell people what I've been through. Like I have this thing where I share as little as possible, and I understand that really impacts my communication and how people perceive me. Cause like I am literally just saying a fact. Because if you my friend, I believe that like you can see the real me, right? Like maybe that's a gift that I have where I could just see the real people, and I'm expecting them to see me, and they don't have the ability to. But like I'm just saying, oh yeah, I don't speak to my mom anymore. And expecting you to understand that I wouldn't just do this on a whim. I wouldn't do this to nobody. I don't fucking just stop talking to people out of nowhere like that unless they did some shit to me or unless, you know what I mean? But I didn't know that like I'm supposed to share a backstory. Like I'm supposed to say, well, I don't speak to my mom because she's abused me my whole life, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. For as long as she's known me, she's abused me in my entire life. She's allowed me when I was a child to be sexually assaulted. And like that's fine. That can be forgiven. But what I have a hard time forgiving is her bringing up my abuser's name as an adult. As soon as I get too big, I get too much, I get too bold, it's a way for my family to humble me. Like, they will bring my abuser's name up. Like, don't let me think I'm being too important, too bold, telling too much truths. Oh, just bring his name up and shit. Like, yo, that's really nasty. That's really nasty work. But I don't tell people this because I don't even tell people that I was sexually assaulted when I was a child. There you have it. Here you go. On a motherfucking platter. Next time, think about shit before you start telling people it ain't good for your spirit. She has purposefully lied on me to anyone who would listen, to strangers, to family members, to third parties, to her friends, to her coworkers and neighbors, like making herself a victim and me a perpetrator, even when I did nothing wrong, even when in situations I don't know about, even when I haven't even seen or spoke to her. She will make some shit up. She will make some shit up. She don't know that I know this, but she will. She has blamed me for everything. She has scapegoated me. Everything that goes wrong in her life, including failed romantic relationships. One of which was a man with HIV. The HIV wasn't going to ruin the relationship. But me telling the truth about her sex addicted, lying ass, predator ass boyfriend, that was going to ruin her relationship. Not the positivity of HIV. Again, consider who you speaking to when you say you only get one mother. Because this is the mother that I have. She spread false narratives about my mental health after provoking me into a rage to numerous times in my whole life. And like, when I say this, I don't want you to think that it's like from childhood. It is from childhood into adulthood. I'm 37 years old. These things are happening currently, even when I don't speak to her. They're happening. She has had numerous men and boyfriends abuse me physically and emotionally, assaulting me, and stealing my valuables for drugs. She has stole and sold my shit for drugs and alcohol. I had to call the cops on her husband in the last few years for trying to break down a door to a room that I was in with her grandson, my 12-year-old nephew. Why was he trying to break down a door? To pour gasoline on my belongings during a hurricane. But I only get one mother. So after that, after she realized that, I kind of fell back after that. I ain't talked to her for some time. She caught me crying in the early morning, crying, talking about I had to swallow the abuses. Not the abuses from my childhood, but like forgive her from the shit that just happened where the nigga was trying to kick the door down and I had to call the cops. And now like swallow it means forgive me for my future transgressions. And I realized that shit was going to be a never ending cycle. And that cycle is done. Again, consider that before you tell somebody. It's not good for their spirit. Give a fuck. So she allows her husband to abuse women and children in my family and expects me to be complicit in her crimes. Me being one of the women that he abuses. And when I was a child, him being one of the children that I was abusing. And now that my nephew's in their custody, him being one of the children that are abused. She's the biggest. And this is no offense. Like, I'm not being on some, like, this is just the truth that I had to deal with because I've had to address this. I've had to, like, actually heal these mother wounds. Like, and I'm not saying that, like, I am fully healed. Like, that's not a possibility. Like, I am the most healed that I want to be right now in this situation. But I still struggle with mother wounding, and I still struggle with being seen. Like I still struggle with being perceived and self sabotage and internalized limiting beliefs and negative self worth. Like I still struggle with these things. So I'm not speaking like some high and mighty, I'm fully over this shit. I just want to say, like, I can tell this truth because this is stuff that I had to recognize so that I can move on. Now, I'm going to share it with people who don't know this yet about their mother, that they can actually do this. So, she's the biggest pick me for the weirdest type of men. And, like, pick me sounds cool, but when you have two small children and you want to get picked by drug addicts, sex addicts, and abusers, you can only imagine what happens to those children, to those two daughters. She has turned on me for any type of man for as long as I've been in her custody. And then when shit goes wrong, she expects me to fix, rescue, and fucking save the day. This lady has no identity of her own. She copies me. She steals my ideas. She takes credit for shit that I have done, and she has done that my entire life. She will ask for advice to steal my ideas and act like she did it, like thought of it on her own. And I am done with that. I am nobody around her. When I do, sometimes I gotta go around her and stuff like that. I have no personality. I'm dry. I don't speak about anything in my life. High bar, respect. You know what I mean? I will still tell my mother I love her. So the funniest shit when somebody say it ain't good for your spirit. Man, suck my dick for real. She has called me just randomly, like just. Again, these are lifelong things. This is not in childhood or like adulthood. This is lifelong shit. She's called me out of the blue to get reactions like anger, sadness, guilt, shame, obligation, and rage. She knows this is my mother and has known what buttons to press my entire life to get supply out of me. She has turned people that I love against me. She is an agent of chaos. And this is just what I don't say to people. When I say I don't speak to her, this is what I could say, but I don't say. And now I'm going to put it out there for anyone to hear this. Two types of people can benefit from this. The person who says it's not good for you and your spirit, and the person who doesn't know that they can actually have a better perception of themselves by leaving these type of people behind. When I say when I didn't give this backstory and I just told people I didn't speak to her, I didn't know that this was anybody's business. I didn't think that I had to share a whole backstory when I say I don't speak to my mom, because who the fuck would just stop talking to their mom? I need people in my life who understand this experience, even if it's not lived. Like, I don't need you to not talk to your mom to understand that it's okay if I don't talk to mine. I don't want to be around like chaos and confusion. I really, like, me as a person, I realize that like I need calm settings. I always need calm settings. That's why I'm always trying to fix people around me. Nah, everything gotta be smooth around me. And like that's why I just been isolated for, at this point, years. Like I'm dead coming out of a year. Like now I know a years long depression. I've been stuck, bro. Cause like for me, my belief was I'm the only person that can keep my settings calm. So I might as well just stay around myself and my partner. If somebody wants something from, like, if I go outside, they just gonna want something from me. That's dead ass real. Another reason for having less people in my life is so I finally got comfortable. Like, I did enough healing, and I was like finally comfortable asking for help with this situation. Like, she called me crying one day, called me crying, screaming into the phone. Like, this was last year, so like she didn't know that I was over her shit, crying, screaming at the top of her lungs, talking about she was dying. It's a year later, she's still living. But anyway, I was asking somebody for some help. And like, I built the courage up. I built the courage to speak about it up. I was sharing myself. I was being vulnerable. And people's first response was, no, you shouldn't do that. Nah, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. I would never do that. I would never do that. Some, like, people have said to me when I told them that, oh, I would never do that. Me and my mom, I have the best relationship with her. Cool. Cool. So, like, for me, that's the shit that's making me move differently with people. Cause like, how could I be like open and trusting, and a person like minimize my experiences? Like, it has made me less likely to like share myself, and like those types of responses has made me bitter. It has made me less likely to hear people. Like, I have been so open, and like I let shit slide. If like my friend is telling me something that I don't agree with, I'ma hear them. Like, I'm gonna make space for them. I ain't gonna make them feel like a jackass or whatever. And these same people, I'm gonna just let that. Yeah, I mean, that's just real. And like, I don't know what's gonna, like, that's the thing. I don't know what's gonna happen. I feel like with the people who say, well, you're gonna regret it, they never tried to heal their relationship with their mom. They had probably some shit they never said to my mom. I had said everything that I needed to say to her. I have said everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the true, the love, the light, the dark. I have said everything that I could say to my mother. And like, I have done that because I have lost people that I love. And I didn't get to have conversations with them like that. So when I lost people that I loved, and I saw that they left me with no conversation, I decided that I'm gonna talk to my mom. It's all this stuff. Several conversations worth of things, and nothing ever changed. So yeah, that made me cut people off. Saying shit like, well, have you had a conversation with her? I did. But yeah, like having my first real time sharing and being vulnerable with people, and them being like, yeah, bitch, you wrong. That's gonna get you cut off, bro. That's gonna get you cut off. I'm sorry, I ain't tell y'all before, but that shit gonna get you cut off. Telling me my feelings are wrong is gonna get you cut off. And like, that shit really shifted a lot of people. The healing of my mother wound, and the people telling me about my mother wound. Those relationships have changed drastically. Cause I'm not holding space for people who don't hold space for me. Period. So once I let go of that relationship, everything around me started to change. I started telling her no. So now I could tell other people no. When I set boundaries with her, then I was able to step into the world and set boundaries with people. When I cut that cord with my mom, I stopped being so performative. I stopped people pleasing. I stopped fearing abandonment and rejection. I stopped fearing my greatness. I stopped fearing my truth. And I stopped hiding. And boom, here I am, recording the most deepest vulnerable parts of me to share with strangers. Like, this is where I'm at, to share with strangers, because the people in my life don't have containers big enough to hold me. And I know that there are people in this world who are struggling with this. I know people in the world who are no contact. I know people in the world who, I know that there are people in the world that can hold space for me and necessarily don't have the same experiences. And these are the people that I'm drawing in and calling into my life. By sharing my truth. Catch me on the next episode.